complex number. It's a very important chapter in class 11 as well as for the joint exams as well. So theory of complex number, yeah, it's a complex, completely complex it is. So what is complex number? So first we'll try to know what is complex number. Complex number किसको कहते हैं? हम अधिकतर लिखते हैं कि complex number z equals to, we represent it z equals to x plus iy, where x and y, they both are real. Here x and y both are real. But when we represent z equals to x plus iy, here x represents the real part and y represents the imaginary part. So we write r is z and r is z equals to x and real part becomes z and real part of z equals to x and the imaginary part y in the complex number. Now what happens here? Suppose if x equals to 0, suppose if you find x equals to 0, then what happens? It implies that z equals to iy. Then z equals to iy, this complex number completely becomes imaginary because z equals to iy. Next, if y equals to 0, then what we get it? We get z equals to x. Then it is completely purely real. That means what? If x equals to 0, the complex number is purely imaginary, and if y equals to 0, the complex number is purely real. And one more term, that is I. This I is said to be what? Iota. And then here I means it is neither positive. It is neither positive nor negative nor 0. So you must remember this point. Next, a complex number may also be defined as an ordered pair in an argand plane of real number, which can be denoted by the symbol PQ. Here suppose if I write here z equals to P plus IQ, here P is the real part and Q is the imaginary part, which can be represented in the argand plane. अब एक सेकेंड पार्ट है जो इंटीग्रल पावर्स ऑफ आयोटा. आई यानी कि आयोटा हम इसे कहते हैं. तो इंटीग्रल पावर ऑफ आयोटा, आयोटा एक्चुअली एक ग्रीक वर्ड है. सो हमें पता है कि i इक्वल्स टू रूट ओवर -1, i स्क्वायर इक्वल्स टू -1. अब चलो यहाँ से क्या देखते हैं हम? i स्क्वायर यानी कि i into i. Now what we can write from here? This implies root over -1 into root over -1. So can it be equals to root over -1 into -1 plus 1? No. So this part it cannot be because this is invalid. That means what we can say that during complex number, if there are two negative numbers, then the multiplication cannot be in this way. So it is invalid. It is only valid when the both are positive. If one is negative and one is positive, but it is invalid when both are negative. So finally we can get here I cube. That means here I cube we can write here I square into I. So what is here I square? I square is -1, so we can write down -1 into I, which implies -I, what we have written over here. In the same way, I to the power 4 can be written as I square into I square, which is equals to -1 into I square is -1 into -1, that is equals to, we get here +1. So for the final result, for n belongs to natural number, we have 4 values where I to the power of n equals to I -1 minus I plus 1. So finally we can say that if I to the power of k, where k belongs to an odd integer, then this thing happens, and if k is an even integer, we get this value. अब हम कॉम्प्लेक्स नंबर के कुछ इंपॉर्टेंट पॉइंट्स के बारे में पढ़ेंगे. सबसे पहला जो पॉइंट है वो है द कॉम्प्लेक्स नंबर 0 जो है वो है प्योरली रियल है, उसको हम प्योरली इमेजिनरी भी बोल सकते हैं. दूसरी बात यह है कि एक कॉम्प्लेक्स नंबर में इनइक्वालिटी का कोई मतलब होता ही नहीं है. क्यों नहीं होता है? क्योंकि i जो है which is imaginary, I is already have said you, it cannot be 0, it cannot be negative, it cannot be positive. So इसका तो कोई मतलब नहीं है, जैसे कि हम कभी ऐसा तो लिख नहीं सकते कि जैसे कि सपोज a प्लस आई बी इज लेस देन p प्लस आई क्यू. वी कैनॉट राइट दिस. We cannot write this. Neither we can write I is less than 0, nor we can write I is greater than 0. So these are all becomes meaningless. ये क्या है? ये meaningless होती है. अब next जो लिखा हुआ है यहाँ पर, if two complex numbers are equal, suppose two complex numbers are equal, let us say a plus ib is equals to p plus iq. Then their real and imaginary parts are separately equal. That means what? This must be equals to p and this must be equals to q. So you might have understand this. So let us check with one more point. एक अच्छा से important point है. यहाँ पर maximum स्टूडेंट्स कंफ्यूज हो जाते हैं. जैसे कि हम कोई भी इक्वेशन लिखते हैं, जैसे कि if x plus y equals to 3, then we can write x equals to 3 minus y. We can write this. So this is correct. But if we write that x plus iy equals to 0, then x equals to minus iy. This cannot happen, क्योंकि कोई भी रियल नंबर कभी इमेजिनरी पार्ट हो ही नहीं सकता. So very important point, try to make it clear from these concepts. अब हम रिप्रेजेंटेशन ऑफ कॉम्प्लेक्स नंबर के बारे में पढ़ेंगे. जो ये है आर्गेंड प्लेन. यहाँ पर रिप्रेजेंटेशन किस तरह से कर सकते हैं. एक्स एक्सिस को हम रियल एक्सिस पकड़ेंगे और वाई एक्सिस को हम इमेजिनरी एक्सिस पकड़ेंगे. Then the z which is equals to x plus iy can be represented in this form. और ये जो OP है, ये जो डिस्टेंस है, उसको हम मॉड्यूलस ऑफ z बोलेंगे या इक्वल्स टू r भी रिप्रेजेंट कर सकते हैं, where r इक्वल्स टू रूट ओवर x स्क्वायर प्लस y square. We can write in the form of this one. And also this is the modulus of z, and also we can say if you go with the positive direction of the x axis from here to here, which is from this direction, which is the positive axis, इसको हम थीटा कहेंगे या r z भी लिख सकते हैं, या एम्पलीट्यूड भी हम इसे कह सकते हैं. Next, polar representation. The polar representation is given as z equals to r cos theta plus I sin theta. Then and the exponential form z equals to r e to the power of iota theta, and vector representation, that is z equals to OP. So in this way we can go with the representation of complex number. Conjugate complex number. So we'll have the discussion on conjugate complex number. It is just what we can say is the image of any complex number on the x-axis is called the conjugate complex number. Next, conjugate complex number can be just obtained by changing the sign of iota. Suppose if it is given as 2 plus i3, then it can, the conjugate of this maybe can be written as 2 minus i3. Now what happened is, next if we let the properties of complex number. So the properties of complex number is that mod of z1 plus z2 is always less than equals to mod z1 plus mod z2, and mod of whole of z1 plus z2 is equals to mod z1 plus mod z, conjugate of z1 plus z2 whole is equals to conjugate of z1 plus conjugate of z2. Few more properties I have written of the complex number with its conjugate. These are the different properties which you must know. More properties I will be producing in my next video. एंड यहीं तक ठीक है, यहाँ तक ठीक से समझो. जो समझ में नहीं आया वो खुद मेरे से कमेंट करके पूछो. और ये जो वीडियो मैं अब कर रहा हूँ, ये अपलोड कर रहा हूँ मेरे यूट्यूब के चैनल में, जिसका नाम है गोल्डन हॉरिजन्स एकेडमी चैनल. इस चैनल में आप ज़रूर सब्सक्राइब करिए, और सब्सक्राइब करने के बाद आप हर वक्त इस चैनल से आपकी क्लास 11, 12 या IIT के प्रॉब्लम्स, NIIT के प्रॉब्लम्स, नीट के कुछ प्रॉब्लम्स भी होते हैं फिजिक्स में, सब कुछ आपको इस चैनल से मिल जाएगा. और द वेरी फर्स्ट एंड द नेक्स्ट डे टुमारो आई एम गोइंग टू अपलोड the NCERT exercises, which already I have uploaded few NCERT exercises of trigonometry in my YouTube channel, and tomorrow I am going to upload the NCERT exercise of this chapter in my YouTube channel. So do complete it, and if you feel any doubt you can comment it. I will certainly come to you and make you understand. And if you can form a few groups of a person of 5 or 6, then we can have a live chat of maths with you, maybe of different classes of 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, or whatever it may be. If you have doubt in advanced question in IITs or JEE Advanced also, we can have a live chat. But there is one question is that you must have a group of at least 7 to 8, then we can go with the live classes as well. Thank you. Me, Arun Kumar.